So welcome to the day 4, okay, of CSS. What we are going to see here is we are going to see something called as selectors in CSS. Selectors in CSS. These selectors are most important thing in CSS. Whenever you learn CSS, you need to learn the selectors. What is this selectors? Means how you select the elements. How you select the elements is the selectors. What are the different type of selectors? Let me just type here. One, it is called as tag selector. Okay, tag selector. Second one, it is called as ID selector. Third one, it is known as class selector. Okay. Fourth one, you can say grouping selector, or we can say universal selector. Universal selector. Fifth one, we can say grouping of selectors, group selector. Group selector. And apart from these 5 major selectors, we are also have different selectors. We call them as, you can name as pseudo selectors. Pseudo selectors, and we are have pseudo elements. Pseudo elements, and we have child selectors, nth child selector, and these are the different selectors are there. But majoritarily, if you want to learn with the selectors, these 5 selectors at the base level, they are enough for us to learn. What we're going to do is we are going to see tag selector, ID selector, and class selector in this video, and we'll keep other things for the next discussion. Okay, this is what we are going to do. So let's start with the tag selector, ID selector, and class selector. For that, let us go to our desktop folder. Okay, let's go to desktop, and here we have a full stack learning, and here we have a CSS. Let me open this, and what we'll do, right click, open with code. So it will open with code. What we need to do next, we can just make a new file which says that selectors css.html I want to make. So it will be selectors, and what I'll do, I'll just come here and I'll write an exclamatory mark, boilerplate code of the HTML, and we'll write selectors in CSS. Then what we'll do, we'll just close these things, we'll just zoom a bit, and let me just write one heading H1, and we'll say selectors in CSS, and let us try to write 3 selectors which we are going to see now. First selector, let me just try list item, it is tag selector. Tag selector. Second one is ID selector. Third one is, if I just write li, it is called as class selector. Okay, class selector. So these are the 3 selectors we are going to see. First, let me just, I will save this file, and I will right click and open with live server. Okay, this is what you can see. What I'll do means I will go to the settings, and I will go to settings here, and I'll just make it auto save, because I don't want to do control S every time. So I have done the settings auto save. So what I'll do, if I just make some changes, okay, if I make some changes, if I come here, automatically changes will be reflected. Let us say selectors in CSS 3 learning. Anything I can make this way, and you can see it is automatically saving and updating. So I don't want to keep it save and every time. So I have just enabled auto save option. What I'll do for this, what we'll do, we'll write the style. Okay, let us write the style here. We know this is an internal styling, and here we can write the style. CSS style, let me just write first thing as tag selector. Okay, tag selector we are going to see, and let me just comment this line. Tag selector we already know. We need to use the tag name as the selector. Means, as we know from the syntax, you need to write a selector, then you need to open the bracket, you need to write the properties, then you need to close this. This is our CSS syntax, right? So this selector we already seen in our previous videos as tag selector. So how it looks like, you need to write the tag name. Let us say I want to apply style to the H1. So simple tag selector looks like your tag name. Or else if you want the syntax, let me just make a comment here. Syntax, it is already defined. Okay, syntax, I can make a comment, and I can just write syntax. You just need to write tag name and bracket on. Here you need to write property and you need to write the value. Simple. This is the syntax of the tag selector. We already seen. If you want example, then I can write h1 and I can just write, let us say property. I want background color or color, anything property I can enter. Let us say background color. We go with the aqua. Simple. If I save this file, if I come here, property is applied. So this is about the tag selector. Not only h1. Let us say if I want to apply on the body is one of the tag. So I will take body and I will just apply background color, something as gray maybe. So you see, gray has been applied. So this is how I can use the tag selector. So different tags you can use from h1 to h2, images, all these tags, order list and everything you can use from this here. Okay, this is about tag selector. Simple. So next, let us move to the next selector. Okay, ID selector. So let me just create something. Let me just create something h2 tag. What we'll do, we'll create one more h1. Let us say selectors in CSS not learning. Okay, they are learning now, not learning. You see, if I come here, both of these are getting same color. This is a problem for me. I want not learning should be red and this should be this color only. Then how can I distinguish between different things? When you do this, it will select all the tags available in your page and it will apply the color. Let us say one more h1 tag is there. Here I am writing your name. Let us say coding Gyan tag. I am writing any name. Then what you do? You see, every h1 on my page is getting same color. I don't want that. I want this in the red color. This in the red color. What I can do? I can use something called as ID selector. Okay. How I can give? First, I need to come to this opening tag and I need to give a attribute. Okay. I need to specify ID for this. If I just write ID and I can just write not learning or a not learning, any ID I can give, your name, anything you can give. Then you need to copy this ID or else you can type it this ID or else you can just write here. How to do this ID selector? Let me just write here. Syntax will write here ID selector. We'll make use this way and let us write the syntax also. Syntax. You need to, what you need to do? Syntax of the ID selector is simple. You need to come here. You need to write hash symbol and you write an ID name. What is the ID name you have given? Open the bracket and just write the property. And you can write the value. Simple. Means hashtag symbol is important. If you want ID selector, then hash symbol is important. You need to write the hash, then you need to write the ID name. Which ID name you have given there. So let us just try this. What I'll do, I will just write hash. I will just paste the name. Okay. The ID is hash not learning. So I will hit a space or bracket on off. So here I can just apply the color as red. Now this color will be only applied whichever element having this ID. If you come here, you see this is only one which is applied. Let us say we are using background color, right? So instead of color, I can just write background color and we can remove the color. No, now only the color which is having this ID will be applied with this color. So this is how you can give the other style. Let us say I want to give one more ID for this. Let us say ID equal to, we'll give some channel. This is the channel. This is the ID and I can come up. I can select this ID CHANNEL or EL and I just apply color. Let us say I want to have a blue color, something blue color I want, or else let us go with the green. You see, change is not applied because the ID here is channels, but here I applied is only channel. So you need to match this ID. This ID and this ID should be matched. If I do this, now both are same. You see, our channel is green name now. So this is about ID selector. We can give the ID to our element and we can just use the ID selector to select the specific element. So next element is the class selector. So let us do something here at bottom. What we'll do means we'll just write P. Okay, let me just write P and I just make I am a para basic. Okay, we'll just duplicate this line 2-3 times. Okay. Okay, we'll duplicate this line. Okay, I'm duplicating 4 times. Okay, inside this basic, I'll just write pro here, pro para, and this is basic para again. This is again pro para. Okay, I'm just trying to distinguish different paras. I can just write Okay, let me just write PRO. Okay, if you save this, if you come here, you see it is getting I am basic para, I am basic para, I am pro para, I am pro para. Okay, this is the scenario. What I need is I need basic para in the blue color. Okay, color of this should be blue and color of this should be green. This is the small task. Then what I can do, I can come here, I can just write an ID here and I can write P1 and I can write a ID here P2 and I can select the ID at the top and I can just write the P1 color blue or blue, P2 color green. I can do this way, but this is not a good way. Means for every element I need to specify the IDs. What else we can do is we can use something called as class selector here. What we can do? We can use class selector. Okay, we can use the class selector here. How to use select class selector? Then let us go up and we'll learn the syntax of the class selector. Let me just write class selector. We'll learn about class selector and we'll learn the syntax of this. Syntax. Let me just write syntax and how the syntax look like. You need to write the. Okay, let us close this. We'll make a zoom a bit. And you need to write a dot symbol and the class name which you have given. You need to give the class name and then open the bracket, write the property and the value. Make sure you write the dot at the start, then you write the class name here. So let us start this. So to start this, let us come here and we'll give, let us say, I just give a class here and I will write a, this is a basic para. And let us say, this is a class having pro para. Okay, I made two classes. One is basic, one is pro. Next, what I'll do, I'll come at the top. I will just use the class selector. I need to enter dot, then basic. This is the class name. And I can just come here. Which color I want? Color blue I need. For the basic class, color blue I need. So if I come and see, it is blue. But this is not applied blue. Why? Because this element is having class, but this element is not having class. So here I can just again write class here and give the same class. So that same property will be applied to both of this. Okay. Similarly, we can write a pro class and we can just write a dot symbol pro and we can just write color. Which color you want? Color in the pro, I need a green color. Similarly, you can see it is green color now. So in green color, here also I need green color means I can just write class. It's a pro class. So this is how we use the different type of selectors, which are ID, name, and class selectors. I hope we understood this. So we'll see other selectors and why we need different class selectors. We can also do with the ID selectors, right? The question we'll see in the next video.